single stroke roll, which is just right, 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 left, right, left, right, or left, right, left, right, left, right. Remember about starting, practicing both ways, where you're 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and with your left, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and with your right. So this exercise you can play both ways, and just set a timer for 5 minutes. Set that metronome nice and slow. Maybe I'm more like closer to 100 with this, but whatever. Just set it at a tempo that, forces you to lock in. There's some great, by the way, don't go out and buy a metronome unless you already have one. Your phone. There are plenty of free metronome apps. I can't recommend one. I know I've got a couple, and they're both fine. Anytime I need them, they do way more than I ever need them to. Some of them will give you a little ding on one, which is helpful. And look, you're going to feel yourself, I know you're already a musician, but you're going to feel yourself speeding up and slowing down. Don't get frustrated. That's what the metronome's there for, is to keep you honest. It's very helpful. As you know, as a musician, I think just good, solid time locking in is the thing that other musicians appreciate most about a drummer. When they're speeding up, when they're slowing down, when they're making the bass drummer work hard, and speeding up fast tempos, or ballads, or dragging. Oh, dragging is the worst. Anyways, you get the point. The metronome is very, very helpful. You can put it in an earbud and listen to it on your phone. But on to the exercise. So set for 5 minutes, and what we're going to do is 4 bars of single stroke rolls, then 4 bars of double stroke rolls, which are right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. Remember, try to get quiet. And the thing about this, the double stroke, is I'm letting that stroke, if you just drop the stick, and because this has a thing underneath, it's not quite as like a real snare drum is tuned very, very tight, very high on top. Anybody who's not tuning their snare drum tight on the top, the batter head, is putting themselves at a disadvantage, because it's going to help you play, those more complex press rolls, stuff like that. So if I just drop the stick, I'm getting some bounces. Now what you want to do is control that rebound for your you're going to get there, you always want it to sound even, and then you'll be able to put in your accents so much more easily later on, especially if you're able to get it nice and quiet where the accents stand out more. I've seen guys who play so loud and so aggressively that when they're supposedly accenting, you can't tell the difference. And I remember I saw Lewis Nash with Betty Carter, and he was just back there, swinging nice and easy on the opening tune, and all of a sudden, bop! He hit the tom-tom. Is this one note, and I still remember it to this day because it was so perfectly placed, and it was surprising and exciting, and the music then lifted up from there. So getting nice and even, being able to control your dynamics. The second thing bands appreciate, drummers who don't play too loud, might be the first. Anyways, I'm way over 25 minutes right now. I'm probably going to have to put this on YouTube and then send you the link, which I will do. I think I've covered everything, and now it's... there's one more thing I'll talk about after this exercise. But here's the exercise I taught. It's just a warm-up exercise, and it's great to play this before, because you start out, you get those breaths, you get relaxed, and then I'm going to count through this so that we get 4 bars. Single strokes, then double strokes, and then kind of a fun rudiment, the paradiddle. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. You've heard it before. It's a combination of the single stroke and the double stroke together, and it's paradiddle, 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 paradiddle. That's starting on the right, or you could start 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. And such a valuable exercise. You'll find it's on page 1 of stick control, and then they start moving the beat around, but it's still a paradiddle. And so it's a great exercise to take you through. So many fills, grooves come from that. Steve Gadd. uses the paradiddle on the hi-hat and the snare. Anyways, without going into too much, here's that exercise. It's a great warm-up for now. And then and there's two more things we're going to talk about. I've got them right here. You should get on that. And then one more resource for you to check out. So get my feet going first. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, I'm on quarter notes, nice and relaxed here. I'm rocking my foot, heel, toe, heel, toe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Heel, toe, heel, toe. So I'm just rocking that hi-hat foot. And if I had a hi-hat, it would be boom, ch, boom, ch, boom, 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 ch, boom, ch, boom, boom. I can't do both noises at the same time, obviously. All right, so here's the exercise. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4 and 2 and 3. Here come the double strokes. 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now these are the paradiddles. And you just cycle that exercise for 5 minutes. You can stop if you feel ready, you know, and you've got all that tension is out of your body, then raise that metronome a little bit, okay? And try, you know, go, and pretty soon you'll be whizzing through that thing. Still 5 minutes, but you'll just be cycling that thing, and I don't even know if I played that correctly, but you're going to be feeling those 4-bar phrases, if you will. It's all the same notes, but it's just different stickings. So that's that. 2 more things. If you don't already have a set of these, and I don't recommend these brushes, by the way, but I do recommend a book by Clayton Cameron, who's a brush artist, parallel, whatever, some French word that I don't know. He's terrific. He's got a book on brushes, also the great Ed Thigpen book, Brush Fire, maybe. It's not their books, but then they turn into DVDs, so you might want to look into that. But they both have great exercises. They both are using rudiments with the brushes. That's something Billy Higgins told me to do, that you can do that same exercise I just showed you. And play your rudiments with the brushes, because brushes really don't have, I mean, you can get them to bounce a little bit. You can cheat and hit the rim and get them to do that. Brushes is where I do use this grip, but now we're at a point where they're not really kind of doing the same thing. And I'm not going to do a brush lesson right now. I'll give you some brush pointers if you want, but get some brushes, because learning to play with brushes is so much fun. People love it. Musicians love it. And I love playing ballads. It's one of my favorite things to do. If they ask me what tune I want to play and they all think I'm going to call, you know, some flag waver like Countdown or Giant Steps, I usually call a ballad, because you can do a lot. A drummer can do a lot on a ballad, but they're just fun. So the ones I recommend, Regal Tip or somebody makes them. You go to the store and they pull closed. So these are, you know, fine for practicing, but when you're going to gigs and whatever, packing up, the ones that retract, the brush pulls back into the shaft here, and they're safe and sound in there. I recommend them. Brushes, I don't know, about 25 bucks now or something. Look online. So the brushes, and the last thing, that Alan Dawson book is something for you to look forward to. Get through the stick control and Ted Reed, and then hang on to them, because there's lots of things you can do with those books. And I also recommend, I think it's called Groove Essentials by Tommy Igoe, I-G-O-E. Tommy Igoe reminds me of the actor, the comedian Dennis Leary, if you know him. He's just kind of got that same swagger, but ultimately he's very positive. And if you follow him on Instagram, Tommy Igoe, on quarantine, he's been going through his books. He has another one called Great Hands for a Lifetime. That's got another great warm-up that's a little bit more advanced. But Groove Essentials breaks down everything from the basic rock and roll groove, the basic bossa nova, basic swing, and it kind of goes all through it. And he has little charts written out. So there's breaks, there's a little fill here and there. It's not too much, and that's on DVD with accompanying materials. HudsonMusic.com has it. I don't know. There's so many great books out there, but for getting started on the kit, I just think Tommy, who's an absolute pro, his dad was Sonny Igo, who was a working pro, that it's good advice, it's good value for the money, and I will assume that these things that he's doing are going to stay forever on his Instagram feed. But he's just good. He's all about, becoming a better musician, becoming a good artist. So Sandra, I hope this helps. I went about 10 minutes over, and I'm not even going to go back and listen to this thing. I think I put everything out there. If there's anything that's confusing or you want more information on, just shoot me a message. Good luck to you, and I'm excited for you. And I'm going to put this on YouTube and send you a link to that, and wishing you all the best. Stay safe and sound, and hope to meet you someday in the future.